Okay, today I have yet another USB charger. This time it's not a 99-cent one, but this one here is marked Samsung. And you know, when you take a look at it, I took a quick glance at a genuine Samsung charger, and they're shaped like this one that came with one of their phones. And you know, without having them side by side, just looking at it, and then you know, taking a look at this one afterwards, it does appear a lot like a genuine charger. Now, the first thing that caught my eye, though, I don't know how well that shows up, but the silk screening on this was not very well. You can see sort of on the top of their logo there, you can see the little bits of where the ink has bled up. And when you look at it really closely, you can see lots of smudging throughout. So that's sort of the first thing that made me question its quality. Of course, you know, I could buy into the story of, well, something went wrong with the silk screening process and Samsung rejected them, and the factory was left with a bunch of chargers that they had to unload, and hence you could pick them up you know, a little bit cheaper. However, this one was not actually all that inexpensive. It was a little bit cheaper than buying one right from Samsung, but they're still, you know, not bad. Now, you take a look at that. I mean, the prongs seem like they're in there fairly good. You know, case seems like it's fairly decent quality. It's good and sturdy. Well, let's take a look at how it actually performs and see what's actually in it. Okay, one other thing I forgot to mention is that this charger is rated with the 2 amp output. So here I have it set up going into my current sink, and have it hooked up to the oscilloscope. So you can see without any load, the voltage is jittering around quite a bit there, and the output's not doing so great, but see what happens as we start to load it down a bit. I mean, start to see quite a bit of ripples starting to show up. Now we're starting to see the voltage drop, so I'm just going to take a quick measurement here and see what the current is at. So that's about 570 milliamps right there. So it's not looking too good for it. Well, if I turn it the right way, and yeah, you can see it's just crapping right out there to basically nothing at, that should be about 1.3 amps, so not even what it's rated. Big fat fail. It's obviously not a genuine charger, so I already know what to expect inside. I don't think the build quality is going to be terribly good, and it's probably, well, it'll be undoubtedly unsafe as well. Alright. That was easy to open. So I would expect that Samsung would probably, you know, glue that lid on there a little bit, you know, just to secure it a little bit better. And as we can see, the board pops out like, you know, nothing. So look in there, it's just got the 2 pins sticking up. But like I said, the case, it's you know, it's a little thin, but it's not bad actually. And you know, here we go. No surprise as soon as you open it and you can see the paper board. It's you know, it's going to be junk, but you can see it's very similar to the you know, those dollar chargers that you can pick up. We've got the two transistor oscillator happening here. Again, no input protection. You know, you can see, and I mean, these are just crap. These little connectors here. That's supposed to make contact in there with those pins. That's absolute junk. But again, there's no input protection. There's no fuse or nothing. These two inputs here come around and go directly into this bridge rectifier here. And yeah, I mean that's it. So there is no protection. Your protection, I guess, is the the bridge rectifier blows up on you. So then we got a filter cap here, which let's just take a look. It is rated 400 volts. See if we can get that there. Yeah. I mean, cheapo brand. Don't expect much out of this transformer. Again, we've got the there's a cap there for noise suppression, and at least this time they used a nicer looking cap. They actually used a 1 kilovolt rated cap as opposed to those ceramic caps that were unmarked, which I'm a little leery of, because usually I assume that a ceramic cap, if there's nothing marked on it, it's 50 volts. So but again, not a proper mains rated cap, not the X rated, or is it Y rated cap there. But again, here's our opto coupler, to provide isolation. So if we look at the board here, and sort of trace out here, this should be where our isolation is. Through here, along here, in that tight little area there, comes down around there, through, and like that. So I mean, as you can see right in here, there's no clearance. That's your main side, and other, again, mains, low voltage side, and even across the suppression cap. I mean, the gap's a little bit better there, but not appropriate. So it's garbage. I mean, it doesn't work, and it's crap. It's no different than the other ones. Shit goes wrong, and you could be in trouble. Don't use it. So it just goes to show, it's not only those 99 cent, cheapo things. Like I said, this one at first glance, it looks pretty good, and I could see how a lot of people could easily be fooled by it. I mean, people don't know to be looking out for counterfeits, and to be looking for these little telltale signs. I could see how this thing could pass, and people would just grab it and think it's a genuine Samsung charger, and use it, and like I said, potentially run into problems later on. Unfortunately, I mean, until somebody actually does wind up getting injured or killed from using some piece of crap like this, it's not really going to hit the mainstream media. So I guess it's up to everybody out there to just try and inform people and educate them. So here, try and rip this tape off here, and just take a look and see what we've got here. They did actually glue it together, but that's alright. I mean, just bust it apart. Alright, so we'll see. Couple layers of tape, and there's the secondary winding. So I'll just cut that off and pry at that next layer of tape. And so here it is. It would appear that it's no more than maybe 2 not even a full 2 turns of tape there. And then we've got, oh sorry, that was not the secondary that I pulled off. This is the secondary here. The other one was a feedback, but that's still going onto the back to the high voltage side. So I mean that should have been isolated a little bit better. So I mean it's garbage. I mean, long and the short of it, just, I don't know, watch out. Okay, so I decided to test the performance of a couple other USB adapters that I had laying around the house, USB chargers. And so I found 3 of them that I pulled out, and I'm going to hook them up to the current sink and test them all out. So the smallest one is this little BlackBerry branded one from Research in Motion. According to the label, it let's see, it claims it does 750, so a quarter or 3/4 of an amp output on that one. Then we got the this Samsung one here, genuine Samsung, which, as you can tell, the silk screening is nice and neat. It's a little bit different, and I believe the other one was made in China. I'll have to check. It's been a couple weeks since I filmed the first part of this video and ripped it apart, but this one here says it's made in Vietnam. But you can see the profile is very similar, looks similar. The top is also embossed and not silk screened, so there's another difference. And I know this one for sure is a genuine, and I'm sure that I saw somebody who had one who claimed that it was a genuine that had silk screening on top, so maybe they got ripped off. Then the third one is this Chicone brand one. I have no idea where it came from. I use this to charge my phone all the time. I know it works like hot damn, especially since the Android 5 update. It charges my phone, you know, at lightning speeds. And this one claims to be a 2 amp output. And I think I forgot to mention the Samsung one here, the genuine Samsung. The other difference is it's only rated at 1 amp. So unlike that fake one that was claiming 2 amps. So we'll start off with the smallest one, I guess, and work our way up and just see how they do. Okay, so I've hooked it up, and I've set the current sink to roughly 750 milliamps. So you can see on the scope, it's a fairly clean clean output coming out of the thing. It's not really all that bad. Don't know if it'll have picked up in that silent bit there or not, but it is there's a squeal coming from it. It's making quite a bit of noise. It's really noisy when I first started to crank up the current sink there. Went quiet sort of in the normal range, and once I got to about 500 milliamps it started squealing again. And I mean, I can hear it you know, even over the hum of the lights and that. So yeah, not exactly the greatest, but I mean it's within spec, and we're getting 4.56 volts out of the thing. So you know, the voltage hasn't dropped too bad. That's about what I'd expect a lot of these chargers to drop to under full load. I mean, also, wow, I got a really short chunk of cable there, but I mean, there's got to be some line loss, you know, when you get into these higher currents too with these cheap cables. So here's the genuine Samsung charger hooked up, and I've cranked up the current to 1 amp. And as you can see, it's not bad. It's you know, it's a lot better than the piece of crap that couldn't even make it to 1 amp that was claiming to be a Samsung. But yeah, it's a little bit more noise. You can see the voltage is staying a bit higher. Something interesting to note is I'll just crank the current up a little bit higher here, and you can see it very rapidly drops right off. So, you know, down around there is an amp, start to go up, and boom, it cuts out, the safety cuts in. Okay, and finally the last one here, and I've cranked the current up as high as it'll go, which actually, I'll just quickly double check here. Yeah, so we're drawing 1.2 amps roughly right now out of it, and as you can see, it's performing about the same as the genuine Samsung charger. So there you have it. There's 3 proper USB chargers, and that's the way that they should operate. That's it for this time. Until next time.